If you have been doing all of the things in manifestation, the affirmations, the visualizations, and the scripting, and you still feel stuck, it could be because cortisol is blocking your ability to manifest a life that you want. And this is a really sneaky stress hormone. And I'm going to share with you today how you can manage your cortisol levels so you can manifest the life that you want. But first, my name is Azor, and I am a nurse and also a spiritual healer. I help worried women emotionally regulate their nervous systems so they can consciously manifest the lives that they want. So, if that's a journey that you are on, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and like this video. Let me know what you want to stop worrying about this week. Now, it is important to note that cortisol, which, as I explained, is a stress hormone, is produced by the adrenal gland. Now, cortisol is not a bad hormone. In fact, we need it. That first hour that we wake up, we have a cortisol spike, and it is what helps us to get started with our day, right? However, prolonged spikes of cortisol can actually lead to fatigue, irritability, heart palpitations, weight gain. Yes, cortisol face, where you're like puffy, or cortisol belly is actually real. The problem with cortisol levels when it comes to manifestation is that manifestation causes, or manifestation actually requires expansion, right? You're open, you're feeling good as much as possible. I mean, we still have those challenges, but the problem with cortisol spikes is that that causes contraction in your body. You're not feeling open, you're feeling closed off and irritable. You're not feeling magnetic, and you're not magnetic to the life that you want. So, in other words, if you are continuously stressed out, remember some stress is good, right? But if you have these prolonged cycles of stress, yes, it can block you from the life that you want. How can you attract what you want when you're tired, when you have extra weight, when you're experiencing heart palpitations? Your body is in survival mode, and cortisol is just one of those stress hormones that could be a big hindrance to the life that you want. And it's really, really subtle, and it's not talked about a whole lot. But we're going to talk about how you can get your cortisol levels down, that stress down, and then making you more expansive and more attractive and magnetic to the life that you desire. Now, the first thing that we're going to do when it comes to lowering our cortisol levels is actually activating our vagus nerve. Now, your vagus nerve is connected to your parasympathetic nervous system, and this is the rest and digest section of your nervous system. And if you can do some breathing, do some breath work, there are plenty of breathing sequences and meditations right here on YouTube that can actually stimulate your vagus nerve that you can do before you start your day, or especially that first hour that you're getting up and you have those increased cortisol levels. I actually recommend doing it before you even start your day. Just take 10 to 15 minutes out of your day to stimulate your vagus nerve. It is worth it. You deserve to have those 10 minutes. There is a 10-minute breath. It doesn't even take me that long to do that. But you have to prioritize that, because remember, you're prioritizing manifesting the life that you want. And it takes work, it takes devotion, self-dedication to yourself. So take that time out, do that breath work to help move you over to that vagus nerve stimulation and activation. The second thing that you can do that is simple, it's simple, it's not easy, is get rid of as many stressors as you can. And I know that we live really busy lives, and we can sometimes find it hard to organize our lives. But this again goes back to self-devotion and self-dedication. Remember that you are important. You are an important being on the universe and in the universe. And so you deserve to be able to sit down and say, okay, what stressors are in my life? Is it work? How can I make work easier? Is it relationships? How can I get rid of people who are not get rid of people? But how can I draw boundaries with people who I feel are stressing me out? Again, remember you're thinking about your cortisol spikes. So anything that actually is going to increase your cortisol, your stress, is and it's important to eradicate it as much as possible. So get rid of stressors. The third thing that you can do is to create a ritual, a calming ritual, a cortisol reducing calming ritual. Now, a ritual is a set of repetitive, structured behaviors that actually can help the brain's alarm system, the amygdala, to decrease that stress, that stressful sort of response and alarm. All right. So, for example, let's say when you wake up in the morning, some of us will have coffee or tea. By the way, coffee does great because it's caffeine. That's another thing is reducing your caffeine. Um, it actually can raise your cortisol levels. So as much as you can, when you're drinking your coffee, sometimes I'll drink coffee and what I'll do is the breath work during the coffee. But whatever your ritual, that's a ritual because it's something that actually soothes you, right? I know it sounds counterproductive because it's caffeine, it can raise your cortisol, but it doesn't have to be coffee. It could be perhaps you're getting up again. I mean, actually, when you're looking at the sun in the morning, actually can regulate your body's sleep and wake cycles. So maybe that's a ritual that you do. You get up and you go outside and you go for a walk, or you go outside, you look at the trees. By the way, looking at trees actually can decrease that cortisol because your nervous system feels safe seeing nature. Okay. So whatever those rituals are for you, perhaps it's lighting a candle, perhaps it's lotioning your body. Those rituals are actually what's going to help you to feel calm. Again, you're actually decreasing your amygdala's response, that alarm response in your brain. Now, I also have some rituals for you. I have a shower ritual. It's a science-backed. All of my rituals are science-backed. A shower ritual. I have money rituals and love rituals, purpose and path rituals. And what these do is they use science to help you move out of survival mode, to help you decrease your cortisol, so that way you can manifest the life that you want. And even if you're not trying to manifest, and we're all trying to manifest something, but even if you don't, adding a ritual, and these are self-led rituals, adding a ritual to your routine is going to help you to relax and just live a better quality of life. You don't deserve to be living life with fatigue, weight gain, irritability, heart palpitations. Okay. So these rituals do that. And not only do you go through a specific science-backed sequence, but I also lead you in the back end with a guided ritual, a guided part of the ritual, just with audio. So I've linked all of those below for you to check out. I also am an intuitive reader and again, a healer. So I have a nervous system soother reading and a bunch of other readings below and downloads and courses to help soothe your nervous system so you can manifest the life that you want. Okay, so they're all down there for you. Comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.